All right, Joe, a few news and notes. So last Thursday night, Tua Tagovailoa got absolutely knocked out in the Bills-Dolphins game. Suffered his third concussion that has been diagnosed, probably has had another one. But he did that fencing position that, like, when you get hit and you kind of curl up, but your fingers go out. It looked ugly. A lot of people are calling for him to retire. I'm not saying one way or the other, but if you were him, you have $124 million at stake. He's made a lot of money, but he just recently signed a big contract last offseason for $124 million. But you also have a life to live outside of football after the game is done. What would you do?
It's tumultuous, man. Like, he has suffered so much. Like, I think you're playing defensive. You want to make sure that you go out on a somewhat high note, that you take a bow out.
So you would retire?
I would retire.
Now, again, I'm not going to say whatever you got in the bank is good enough or whatever. That's generational wealth you're talking about for you, your family, your kids, your grandkids, going forward. But again, you have a life to live after football. There is so much competitiveness in these guys that I know they don't want to hang it up, but he's got to have a talk and he's got to do what's best for him ultimately. Yeah. And if that's continuing to play, do it. If that's hanging it up, do it. I don't think anyone can fault him for whatever the decision.
Before this injury, it was coin flip because he did have a couple of seasons where you didn't know what Tua you were going to get on the field. Yeah. And so I just feel that if he pushes his limits here, he's going to have a big injury.
And he's had major injuries, even going back to Alabama, outside of just concussions. And last year was the first year I can remember him staying healthy the whole season. So it's more likely than not in the NFL, you're going to get hurt at some point. So,
and you saw the repercussions, like even though there wasn't an injury, you saw he was not at his pinnacle.
Right. Exactly. So he's, whatever he decides to do, he's got to do. So,
do you have a prediction? Like, if you put money on whether or not he'd continue?
I think he's going to keep playing. Okay. I'd say he's going to keep playing. I know they put him on the IR, which means he has to miss the next 4 weeks. So after that, I'm sure we'll see him at some point again this season. But I don't want to put like a timetable on someone's career or anything like that. But I would not expect him to be in the NFL in, let's just say, 5 years from now. So I don't know if we'll see him finish out that contract, but you got to just hope for the best for his health and I don't know. The NFL is a violent game.